Prime Minister Andrew Holness get angry today.
The country so well that it can give you a salary increase without worrying that next year you're going to get wage freeze. And that is why, Madam Speaker, it burn me when I hear the nonsense that people talking. No other government has done that. And I stand in this parliament, Madam Speaker, and say, that all the lies and misinformation that is being spewed by the political entrepreneurs, that this government is not going to sit back. You hear what the member said over there? He said, oh, this sounds like 2015. Madam Speaker, let it be well known that this Prime Minister has the ability, anytime I feel to turn it on, to get back in the public domain and let the people know that we will not be misled. Madam Speaker, I was just fooling. Madam Speaker, I was just fooling. Because while they are out there spreading lies and misinformation, we were busy working. Madam Speaker, don't worry about that. Madam Speaker, not only have we increased, I won't deal with that part of it too, because some people want elections. Don't worry, careful what you wish for. Madam Speaker.
The Prime Minister has a way of looking at opinions that don't coincide with his, as being persons who don't have the country's interests at heart, who are working with common sense without intelligence. And I believe that our fool, I believe that when our leaders approach opinions of Jamaicans, patriotic Jamaicans, who have their only interest is a better country, a government that's run on good governance, that drop government badness, a government that doesn't attack individuals who don't agree. I believe when you go down that road that it is bad, it's a bad precedent, very, very bad precedent. And in fact, we have seen throughout all of what has been happening that is the attempt that the government is making. Madam Speaker, overreach of government in today's world is something that everyone looks out for. It is something that we are sworn when we come here to make sure we prevent. We are also sworn to defend the rights of the Jamaican people. And I wanted to say, without fear or favor, that no matter what badness anyone comes in here with, no matter the words anyone uses inside here, you are not going to get us on this side to stop talking about those things that we believe are wrong. We are going to continue talking on behalf of the Jamaican people. And Madam Speaker, I could not leave this parliament without putting it squarely on the table, because we are here, every single member, sent here by the good people of their constituency, who have voted for them, who they meet with from time to time, who they discuss their issues with, and who come here, as you say in here, to advocate and to represent. You might feel uncomfortable when it's done, but I'm going to tell you, get used to it, because it won't change.
But this morning, Tana listeners, there are two numbers on my mind. The first is 2,190, and the second is 100. And those numbers matter to me this morning because they highlight a failure of governance that we've all been complicit in allowing to go unchecked. I think from time to time we must remind ourselves of important promises made on the campaign trail and ask where we are as a country with their implementation. And so I find myself wondering this morning, whatever became of the much touted impeachment legislation for parliamentarians, or term limits on the office of Prime Minister, or even the fixed election date. The then opposition leader, now Prime Minister Andrew Holness, told a packed audience in Sam Sharp Square on the night of Sunday, February 7, 2016, that in his first 100 days in office, these important legislative processes would begin. Here's the Prime Minister.
The time to change the system to a fixed election date is now. In our first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to fix the date for general elections in Jamaica. This will bring greater certainty to the political process. And by the way, the date will be a date after the budget and not before. So no government will be able to come and make false promises and hide the truth and tell you half-truths and trick you into voting for them, and then when them win, them throw on poison for you. Within the first 100 days of our government, we will start the legislative process to institute, and I want you to listen to me carefully, impeachment proceedings in Parliament. This will add another layer of protection of the Parliament to ensure that only members of unquestioned integrity sit in the Parliament. Within the first 100 days of government, we will start the legislative process to introduce term limits on the office of Prime Minister.
Well, it's been 2,190 days since those assurances. At 6 years, at 6 years, at 6 years,